Hello, fictional. Welcome to the Fiction Series X. Today we are gonna see, what if Issei was the path of the sekiryutei? Part 1. If you end up liking this video, please consider subscribe, so without further ado, let's get into the video. Issei's POV. Red, yes, that is the only color I see before my eyes right now. My hands are stained with this painful shade. As of this moment it seemed like the only color I could see right now as I looked at the bodies that surrounded me. My parents motionless and dead right in front of me, and even now my heart cried out in agony as I asked myself this question: why? Why did this have to happen to my family? But really I knew the painful truth thanks to that woman's words. If you want to blame anyone, blame God for gifting you with your sacred gear. Know this, I cannot allow you to live high to Issei, for you could be a huge threat to us. Before I could snap out of my fear and confusion, I was overcome by an excruciating pain as I felt a blade pierce my heart. All I could do was drop to the floor and join my parents in the afterlife. Or so I thought. After I was presumed dead for a while, I found myself being drawn to not a white light, but a powerful crimson light as I felt my consciousness begin to awaken. As soon as my eyes opened again, I saw a figure with crimson long hair. He wore unique clothing like body armor and a majestic cape which draped from his shoulders. All I heard from this person before he disappeared was this: "I do Issei, I have revived you as a stray devil after you were just now brutally murdered by what is known as a fallen angel. I did this because I see a great hope from you and I could not allow you to die here today. I have placed 8 evil pieces inside you, but they won't activate until you meet the one destined to be your master, only they can activate them. Once they are activated, you will be absorbed into this devil's peerage and you will fight for them as their servant. Get stronger and get revenge on those who robbed you of those who are important to you." After this stranger disappeared, I heard a sound just outside of my house, which was currently a full-on pile of rubble after it was destroyed by what I knew now to be a fallen angel. My feet would not budge. I still wondered if I was in a dream. Yes, a nightmare, that has to be it. However, my thoughts were interrupted when I saw a tall individual wearing a huge trench coat step into what was left of my home. "Oh, so it looks like Rainer couldn't kill you after all. No matter, I shall make this quick and painless. My name is Donasik. Remember it well because it is the name of the fallen angel who ended your life." The fallen angel took advantage of my frozen-like state, plunging a bright shining spear into my leg. My mind was going crazy from the extreme difference in pain. However, my body didn't feel a thing because of how numb I felt, still unable to comprehend this as reality. The fallen angel grinned at me and threw another spear through my other leg this time. Once again I detected the pain, but I felt nothing because one particular thought overrode everything else. I was going to kill this bastard. I maneuvered my shaking legs which struggled to move because of these peculiar spears that have pierced them, but my late reaction of rage was cancelling out my pain and enabled me to stand up. "Oh, you're a tough one, alright, maybe I'm not too late and you're not a devil just yet. After all, it would be impossible for you to be showing no signs of pain when holy light is like poison to them. I guess this time I'm just going to have to end you in one blow and strike you through the heart." I remained speechless, but my feelings echoed in my head. Power. I need power. If I had power, I could destroy this bastard and get out of here alive. I still remember that strange sensation I felt as an unknown voice entered my mind. "If it's power you seek, I can give it to you. All you have to do is make your feelings clear and I will respond to your will." I had no time to question who was communicating with me right now, as right after I heard those words, my left arm began to shine brightly in a jade light. I could feel the power running through my veins as I watched my arm make some kind of metamorphosis and decorate my arm with a crimson gauntlet. At first the shape was very simple, like a strange knuckle-duster. However, as soon as I unleashed my rage towards the fallen angel, it seemed as if my feelings were infused into my new accessory and it began to change again. Explosion. The chant came from my left arm which now began to glow even brighter as my gauntlet began to form. The gauntlet now covered most of my arm in its crimson glow and now an emerald jade was embedded on the back of my hand. The sacred gear I possessed gained 2 golden spikes and was covered in some strange text that I had never seen before. I still remember the look of fear on the fallen angel's face as he too witnessed my gear's transformation. "It looks like we got our information wrong. It's not just a regular twice critical, it's the boosted gear. One of the 13 Longinus. The Red Dragon Emperor's gauntlet. I have to take you out now," he said, completely alarmed now, and he threw a light spear towards me. My body just moved on its own, my hand achieving what seemed to me moments ago impossible, deflected this dangerous spear and did my arm no effect whatsoever. "Damn, I have to retreat and tell Azazel," he said as he tried to retreat. Boost. All of a sudden, a huge rage came over me as I saw him try turn tail and flee. I closed a distance between us instantly as I grabbed onto his shoulder, turning him towards me. I didn't hesitate a second then. "You bastard. How dare you? How dare you murder my parents?" I drove a powerful punch right into his gut, causing him to lean forwards. Boost. You fallen angel scum. I'll kill you. I said, driving another punch into his midsection, this time using my other hand instead. Boost. I felt the warm liquid drip from my fingertips as I delivered another powerful blow to the startled assassin as I drove my sacred gear into his face. How? This can't be. He said to me as he crashed to his knees, holding his stomach. Even after thinking about it now, I still don't know how I accomplished it, but my gauntlet began to glow in a crimson light. Boost, 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 boost. When I aimed another punch to the helpless killer, my fist unleashed some kind of blast, leaving nothing but black feathers in its place. The last thing I remember before passing out was pulling those holy weapons from my legs, and then I collapsed. And that's as far back as I remember. After I released those spears, I was instantly struck by an overwhelming agonizing pain which I easily ignored moments ago. But I realized after I observed my wounds that the entry points in which the spears created in my legs were now perfectly healed, and only the blood that stained my hands was left on my skin. After I checked my surroundings, I noticed some kind of small bottle with the pattern of a huge bird on the empty container and some kind of weird note which had an unknown symbol to me on the paper. But it had writing I could read underneath it. I was right about you after all, get stronger and seek out your master. Hi to Issei, the Red Dragon Emperor. As I re-examined the note, I was puzzled after I put the note down that I didn't notice it before. My home, which lay in ruins moments ago, was completely fixed as if it was only a dream. Unfortunately, as much as I wished for it, this was not a dream. My parents were dead, lying on the ground in front of me, and if it wasn't for that uninvited guest, I would be laying there right alongside them. Part of me was angry that I was the only one who was able to survive. But this emotion soon became overrun by another more powerful sensation. And that was the powerful rage I felt towards the bastards who took them from me. As I buried them in the wake of the night, I promised them both as tears streamed from my eyes. I promised my dear mother and father that I would not waste this opportunity that fate gifted me with. I will use this power to assure that nobody else will suffer through the hardship of losing their family or even their own life to these unforgiving monsters. As I sat there in silence, I heard a voice coming from a small green circular light that was unaccompanied by the red gauntlet that was once there. You certainly are an interesting one. So young, and you already have such a strong compatibility and understanding of the boosted gear. WH. Who are you? I replied. I am the dragon that is sealed within the sacred gear. Drag, one of the heavenly dragons. Cut down to size in my prime to form the gauntlet you used just now. What do you want? Relax, I'm going to be your partner from now on and follow you down your path. Well then, let's continue to do our best in this new life you will be leading, partner. My name is Issei. I understand. Hi to Issei. Still, I'm surprised you unlocked my power at such a young age and you weren't consumed by the power. You certainly will be an interesting one to watch grow into a true Red Dragon Emperor. Well, let's do our best to say, my partner. Hey Drag. Are you saying that I can get stronger and make the woman who made my parents suffer like that pay? Of course, partner, you now hold the power to even surpass God if you use it wisely and learn how to control its full capacity. Then I will accept this power and master it. So I can protect those who are victim to these winged beasts. I may be a devil now, but that doesn't mean that my goal has changed. I will protect the innocent and become stronger. It's just as I thought. You are interesting. Well, do your best and I will do the same. Oh, one more thing, partner, that symbol on the parchment you got given was given to you by the demon lord Sursage's Lucifer. Not only that paper you hold in your hands will allow you to open up a communication link and speak with him for one time only. So if you have any questions you want to ask him, just make it obvious through your will. Well, we have a long life ahead of us, get some sleep, you'll need it after today. Drake said to me as I traveled to my brand new looking bedroom. I closed my mind and drifted off to sleep. That was 6 years ago when I was only 11 years old. And I am now a second-year student at Kuo Academy. But despite all of my efforts, I was unable to find the harlot who butchered my mother and father. But there is one thing for sure, when she does resurface, I will be ready to deliver my own justice upon her. My name is Rias Gremory and I am a third-year student at Kuo Academy. Currently my name is well known throughout the school as I am labeled one of the top idols in the school. Because of this, day after day, I feel countless gazes upon me by numerous men as I walk through the hallway. All they do is stare at me. Perversely most of the time as they stare at my bulging chest. Little do they know, I have a secret life outside of my student one. That's right, I am the daughter of the famous devil family, the Gremorys. I am a high-class devil, which means I meet the necessary requirements to obtain a peerage. A group of servants who follow me and help make my dream a reality. And that dream is to become a successful king and triumph in every battle I face. I currently have used 4 of my available evil pieces. 1 knight, 1 rook, 1 bishop and my only queen piece. As a result, I only have 11 pieces left. Well, I should anyway. You see, when I first got my 15 other chess pieces, I was notified by my brother that I will not be able to use any of the 8 pawns I should have received, as he has already decided on how they will be used. Just what I needed, another part of my life already planned out for me. I already have had my marriage pre-arranged, and that didn't reward me with any happiness. So the fact my pawns have already been chosen for me slightly worried me. To be honest, one of my dreams is to find true happiness by truly falling in love with a man I have chosen, but to my disappointment, I have drawn a blank. No male I have met so far in all my life has even once made my heart skip a beat. So that dream may as well just another pipe dream that will never happen. After another exhausting day of school, I decided to go shopping due to no club activities had been scheduled today. I'm also club president of the Occult Research Club. We use this club to hide away from the outside world to use as our headquarters for our second life. Just as I finished withdrawing from my Japanese bank account provided by my father, some thug had the nerve to steal my school bag and began to escape. My eyes shifted to a crimson ruby shade as my anger began to boil to the surface. However, I quickly realized that I am currently in the human world in public, so I have to control myself and apprehend this crook with normal human abilities. I shouted after him to stop as I began to pursue him. With my enhanced body I would have easily caught him. But suddenly I stopped in my tracks due to what just happened. Just as the thief passed another human, the innocent bystander took the criminal down to the ground with a powerful roundhouse kick. The mugger hit the ground hard and was knocked unconscious as he hit the pavement. "You scum, have you no shame stealing a school bag from a girl? Geez, you're a loser." The stranger then proceeded to pick up my bag and then started to make his way towards me. He stopped in front of me holding my bag and he was looking right at me. I thought to myself, oh, I get it, this guy saw me withdraw a large amount and is going to ask for a reward. Oh well, humans are all the same after all. "Here you go, miss, I believe this is yours," he said, handing my bag to me without hesitation. I took my bag back and then I replied to him. Thank you." "Well then, if you'll excuse me," the brown-haired boy said, bowing to me, and began to leave. "Wait, aren't you going to ask for a reward or something?" I asked, being very confused of his peculiar actions. "What do you mean? I don't need a reward." "Then why did you help me just now? Does a guy need a reason to help a beautiful girl in trouble?" He replied to me, and for the first time in forever, I suddenly felt a warm sensation inside my chest, as if his words comforted me and embraced my heart. "Well then, I will be taking my leave now." He began to leave again, but I couldn't just let him walk away empty-handed. "But you could say I had an ulterior motive." "Please wait. At least let me buy you a meal as a token of my appreciation." "I would love to, but really I have an appointment I must keep." "Then please at least tell me your name." "Issei. Hi to Issei," he replied with a huge smile. "My name is—" "I know, Rias Gremory, right? How could I not remember your name?" he said to me and then left. I waved to the boy as he jogged down the high street, but whilst I did so, I reminisced what just happened. And I realized something now. My thoughts were all in order. That was not just a mere human, he was without a doubt a devil. I couldn't measure his power in time, but without a doubt he was definitely a devil. After I got my wits together, I contacted my rook through a phone call and asked her to do a favor for me. "What is it, President?" "I need you to tail someone for me and find out everything about him." "Can you do that for me, Kaneko?" "Yes, of course, President." "What's the name of the guy I'm following?" "His name is Haidu Issei. I think I may just have found another perfect candidate for my remaining night piece. Please inform the others to join me in the clubroom tomorrow after school, so we may discuss this," I said, ending the phone call, and now made my way home. Issei's POV. I ended yet another tiring day at school, being pestered by two particular individuals today. Their names were Mitsuda and Motohama. Quite well-known individual for their perverted actions like peeking at girls changing and speaking of their treasured possessions out loud. They kept trying to coerce to join their adventures, but at this moment in time, my mind is preoccupied with other issues. As I escaped the school grounds, I began patrolling the high street. But then just as I began to window shop, I saw something truly beautiful before my eyes. Her beautiful crimson hair. Those sparkling deep blue eyes and that smile that would melt away anyone's bitterness. I knew full well who she was. After all, she is the little sister of the man who saved my life. The little sister of Sirzich's Lucifer, Rias Gremory. A magnificent pretty flower which my eyes gazed upon. I was brought back to my surroundings as soon as I saw her shout towards a man who held her school bag in his hands. I was ticked off by this moron who decided to do such a pathetic crime. And as soon as he began to get closer, I took him down to the ground, greatly reducing my strength in order to not kill him. After I returned the bag to her, she invited me for a meal, and I would have more than anything enjoyed spending some time with her. But I had to prepare for tomorrow's mission to track down another fallen angel. The next day after school, I received intel from my inner dragon Drake, who lived inside the sacred gear, that he had tracked down the fallen angel in the area. After following Drake's directions, I discovered a rundown factory and then the readings grew stronger. No doubt about it, partner, there is definitely a fallen angel inside there. I entered inside but noticed that he was communicating with another fallen angel over the phone, so I decided to eavesdrop on their conversation. Yes, the Gremory family isn't getting involved. I see, so Lady Raynor has arrived in Japan. I understand, I will see to it her every need is met. Okay then, goodbye. I see you're done with your phone call, fallen angel. I said, revealing myself from the shadows. Hey, who do you think you are? This is fallen angel territory as of this minute. So you think you can just waltz into the human world and take over Japan? It's just as I suspected, some of you just piss me off. Oh yeah? You don't know who you are messing with, you weak lower class punk. I am feared by all in this realm and the heavens above. I am one of the most powerful fallen angels. Osamu Tashio. And if you don't leave in 5 seconds, I'm going to break you into so many pieces your master won't be able to put you back together again. Boosted gear. Boost. I won't allow you to harm any innocent people, fallen angel. We're doing it now, Drake. Here goes. Okay, partner, but remember, with your current abilities, you can only handle 5 minutes. I know that should be plenty of time. Low. Overboost. Welsh Dragon Overbooster. A wall of fire surrounded me as my sacred gear began to transform my body. After the flames had died down, I now stood strong, standing tall in my powerful dragon armor. This is the power of the Red Dragon Emperor. Balance breaker. Boosted gear scale mail. No way, that's impossible. The forbidden move. I must retreat. You won't escape. I said as I formed a great amount of magic power in between my hands, concentrating it all into a huge orb, launching it right towards Osamu. A great proportion of crimson light exploded throughout the windows of the rundown factory, and after the light faded, all that was left to reveal there was another in here besides me in this factory was the black feathers which now were spread all over the floor. It was after I regained my senses that I noticed a huge hole in the wall. Oops, looks like I didn't hold back enough this time. Just as I began to create my wings to fly from the site, I heard a familiar voice behind me. You there, what do you think you're doing? The next day, Rias had gathered her servants all in the clubroom where they began to discuss their daily tasks such as contracts and job offers. I see, so you got another contract. Excellent job, Yudo, please continue to impress your president. Rias said, picking up the next document on the pile. Hibuyudo is Rias Gremory's knight. He is a second year at Kuo Academy, known as the class's prince, who specializes in speed and fights with a sword. He has blonde hair and has the personality of a true knight, displaying grace and magnificent swordsmanship. Thank you, President, and of course that goes without saying. By the way, President, is it true that you have found another candidate to be a knight for you like myself? Yudo said, making Rias smile. Yes, that is right. Kaneko, do you have any information to report? Rias said, looking towards the small girl with silver hair. Kaneko is Rias Gremory's rook. She is a first-year student at Kuo Academy, who is known as the school's mascot for her small figure and cute appearance. She specializes in both offense and defensive. Yes, President, I have it right here. Issei Haidu. Second year at Kuo Academy. Grades average, physicality outstanding. Doesn't stand out too much, but catches the attention of fellow classmates. He's 17 years old and his address is unknown. You did well, Rias said as she became lost in thought. Catches the attention of classmates, eh? May have to keep my eyes on that. So, President Rias, do you plan to recruit Haidu Issei into your peerage? Akeno said, bringing Rias back to reality. Akeno Himejima is Rias Gremory's queen. She is also a third-year student at Kuo Academy. Akeno specializes in magic and is nicknamed the Priestess of Thunder. Akeno is also like Rias in the sense she is also idealized by the entire school. Yes, I think I may. Akeno. Kaneko, any information on his sacred gear? Rias asked, causing Kaneko to shake her head. I was unable to uncover that mystery. It's possible he hasn't unlocked it yet or just has had no need to show it. I see, well, please continue to survey him for me. I understand, President. All of a sudden, a magic circle appeared next to Rias' ear. Good day to you, Rias. Good day to you, Sona. Sona Citri, alias Sounda Shitori, third-year student at Kuo Academy and student council president. Daughter of the famous devil clan the Citris and heiress to the clan. She is also Rias' childhood friend and rival. And she is the third most popular girl at the academy behind Rias and Akeno. I thought I would bring it to your attention that a stray devil has been sighted at a rundown factory in the city. Please investigate this and report your findings. I understand, I will travel there now. Everyone gather in the center of the room, we are going to teleport now. Rias said, creating a huge magic circle with a Gremory family symbol at the center, and in a flash, all of her servants along with her vanished. The magic circle reappeared just on the outskirts of the factory. All of a sudden, a huge explosion echoed throughout the atmosphere as the factory sustained damage and a huge gaping hole, along with a blinding crimson light appearing in the building. Everyone, let's investigate now. Yes, President. They all said, following quickly behind the ruined princess. Ria's Gremory reached the entrance of the building and immediately stopped once she felt the intense demonic power coming from a certain individual. The heir to the Gremory household now stared at a towering mysterious stray devil equipped in fascinating red armor. "You there, what do you think you're doing?" Ria said, aiming to communicate with the devil. "Where is your master?" she said, not getting a response from the quiet demon. In an instant, Rias and the rest of her peerage retreated backwards once the huge power from the wings of the armored devil were unleashed, creating a massive shockwave as they lifted the demon into the air, enabling his escape. "Who on earth was that?" Rias said, never seeing anybody with that appearance before. "President Rias, over here." Yudo said, beckoning over Rias to where he was pointing. Oh my, looks like our devil friend was doing some house cleaning." Akeno said with a slight giggle, her sadist side kicking in. "It certainly seems that way." Ria said, staring at all the black feathers that lay there. "They certainly left us quite the mess to clean up." Akeno said, sweeping up the feathers with a nearby broom. "President, what do you make of this?" Yudo said, now also looking at the damage done. They certainly weren't a mere low-class devil for them to single-handedly not only defeat a fallen angel, but to completely destroy one. "However, I don't think we have anything to fear. I heard of a decrease in fallen angels in Japan recently, so it seems like they are his or hers only target. Still, look at this, it looks like your handiwork," Rias Akeno said, referring to the fact that not even bones were left in the building. "Yes, one thing is for certain about that devil, he is a power type. I will speak with Sona and find more information about this mysterious devil." Just as Rias was about to give the order to retreat, Rias received yet another call. "Hello?" Rias said, speaking into the communication circle. "Rias, I have just received word for you from the fallen angels. A letter has just arrived at the school with a time and meeting place for you to meet them and discuss the recent decline in their numbers." "Thank you, Sona, I will see to it that I sort this mess out," Rias said, ending the call. After reading the letter at the clubhouse, Ria's Gremory arrived at the church the next day. Rias waited outside the entrance courtyard when she was then greeted by the sender of the letter. "Good evening, Rias Gremory, I'm so delighted that you could meet with me." Rias turned around and saw a woman with long straight black hair and eyes the color of amethyst. She wore black leather underwear and had her dark wings opened wide. "What is the meaning of this, Rainer? Why are the fallen angels attempting to disturb the peace in Japan?" "Oh really, I was going to ask you the same question. Some of my subordinates have been going missing whilst they were on the job, and I guessed you were the one responsible, Miss Gremory." Rainer replied. "None of my household is responsible for this. I demand to know what you are after," Rias said, making Rainer grin. "All of this is for the great Azazel. We are working towards his will, and we are going to take out all of those who pose a threat to us." "I see, looks like I've finally found you, fallen angel." Rias and Rainer looked behind them as soon as they sensed another devil enter through the barrier. "Rainer, I will make you pay," the mysterious voice said, walking in front of Rias now. "Boosted gear, Issei," Rias said, seeing the man who helped her before right in front of her eyes. Issei's POV. "My nerves shook and a pain shot through my head as I kneeled down in a forbidden territory, because no matter how much pain it causes me, I always come visit them." I stood up, placing the flowers I had bought on each of their graves, saying my prayers to my parents once again. All of a sudden, I felt a huge chill down my spine which felt very nostalgic. I ran as fast as my feet could carry me towards that frightening aura. Until I reached an invisible barrier. I didn't hesitate, if my suspicions were correct, I have finally found my parents' murderer. I walked inside, a sudden rush of anger appearing as I saw her demonic grin. It was then I lost all of my senses and my body was running automatically. Normal POV. Rias Gremory stared in amazement at Issei's arm, not admiring his muscular biceps, but the gauntlet that suddenly appeared on his arm. "No way, that is one of the 13 Longinus gears, the boosted gear. The gauntlet of the Red Dragon Emperor," Rias said, suddenly overwhelmed by Issei's sacred gear. "Issei? What are you doing?" Rias said, trying to talk to him. "Please Rias, stay back, I need to finish this," Issei muttered, walking towards the fallen angel. "Rainer, I finally found you," Issei said, his sacred gear now glowing green. "Huh? Who are you? How do you know my name?" Rainer said, taking a while to register the situation. Suddenly she burst out laughing. "No, don't tell me. It's you, the boy whose parents I murdered." "No way, you're still alive," Rainer said, exploding in laughter. "Yes, that's right. I was revived as a devil and now I'm standing here again. Haha, this is too great. I still remember when your parents begged me to let you live." "Shut up. Please don't hurt my son, he's just a boy." "Shut up," Issei replied, shaking in fury now. "And then I killed them right in front of your eyes, killing their precious child afterwards. Now I think about it, I should have let them watch you die. Haha, that would have been just fantastic, watching them wallow in despair as I killed you," Rainer said. "Shut up," Issei shouted, his sacred gear surrounding him in a beam of jade light now. "Dragon Booster Sacred Evolution. Drake shouted, causing the gauntlet to take on a new form. The gauntlet became sharper, now it had 10 spikes and now had another emerald on it. It changed. Rias said, still shocked with Issei's hidden power. What the? That's impossible, this can't be real. Rainer said, launching a light spear at Issei. Issei remained still and grabbed the holy spear with his gauntlet, crushing the poisonous projectile into pieces. No. Rainer said, attempting to run away. Issei dashed after Rainer, getting in front of her and delivered a powerful punch to her midsection. Rainer screamed in pain, trying to punch Issei. Issei dodged her punch and landed a roundhouse kick to her chest. Rainer screamed in pain again and this time collapsed to her knees. Issei stood in front of her, concentrating the magic power into his gauntlet. Boost. 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 Wait. Please wait. Please, I didn't mean to kill your parents, I was just scared of my boss, he would have killed me if I didn't. Rainer said, begging for her life to be spared. Just how pathetic can you act? How far will you go? Have you no pride? Issei said, looking towards the fallen angel, who altered her appearance to look like an innocent high school girl with tears in her eyes. This is for my parents. Dragon shot. Issei shouted, forming a fist and punching all of his magic power right towards her. Rainer screamed as she was consumed by Issei's powerful blast. After the light show faded, a pile of black feathers was all that remained. Issei deactivated his sacred gear, collapsing to his knees, looking at the floor. Issei. Are you okay? Rias said, rushing to his side. Mother, father. I've finally avenged you. I promised I wouldn't cry until I became strong enough to avenge you. So is it okay if I cry now? Issei said, a river of tears staining his cheeks as the rain now came crashing down on him. Issei roared like a dragon as the tears continued to fall. Rias could not watch this anymore, feeling Issei's pain inside of him. The Crimson Princess knelt down to the ground in front of Issei and placed her arms around his back and pulled him close to her chest. Issei wrapped his own arms around her waist, unable to stop the tears as he rested his head into her comfortable chest. Rias cradled his head and she too couldn't help but leak a few tears as the Red Dragon Emperor cried his heart out. A few moments later, Issei pulled himself together and spoke up. I'm sorry you had to see me like that. Issei said, feeling guilty of embracing the Demon Lord's little sister. It's okay, you've been through enough already. Just let it all out, I'll look after you. Rias said, making him look up at her. It's just as I thought. You truly are a kind and caring woman. Issei said to her, making the Crimson Princess blush. All of a sudden, Ria's chest started to get really hot and Issei seemed to resonate with her. I need you, Issei. Please accept me as your master and become my servant. Rias said, taking out her night chess piece. I knew from the moment I met you, Rias, I would definitely not be anyone else's servant. You are my only master, Rias Gremory. Issei said, ready to accept Rias. Rias placed the night piece near Issei. However, the piece had no reaction when it went near Issei. What's happening? I don't understand. It's always worked before. Rias said, putting the piece back in her pocket. No, Rias, I can't accept any other piece you have. I am your pawn. Issei said, making Rias shocked. What do you mean? Rias said, very confused. Forgive me for not saying before, but I was chosen by your big brother Serzich's Lucifer to be your pawn. Issei said, making Rias finally realize. So my brother gave you a pawn chess piece? Rias said, now happy that one of the pawns selected was somebody she herself wanted for her peerage. One? No, I think you're misunderstanding something here, Rias. Your brother had to use 8 pieces to revive me as a demon. Issei said, making Rias step back. No way, so you're telling me that when my brother said that he was going to decide what to do with my pawn pieces, he meant that he gave every single piece to you? Rias said, both surprised and happy that she wouldn't have to worry about 7 strangers being chosen for her peerage. That's right. I've waited 6 years to meet my master. And I couldn't be more honored for you to be chosen as my master. Please activate my evil pieces and make me your servant, Issei said, bowing down to her. I understand. I, Rias Gremory, command by my name. To the Issei Haidu. To allow thy soul to descend to this earth once more. To become my demon slave. As your new master, I grant you with a new life. Rias said, chanting the final spell. Issei felt a warm sensation in his chest as the white pawn pieces transformed to a crimson shade. Issei suddenly felt a surge of power build up inside him. He felt stronger and now officially was ready to start his new life as a devil. Now his parents had been avenged. Now let's go, my servant. Rias said to Issei. Yes, sorry, I mean president. Issei said, falling straight into her chest afterwards. Geez, you're aggressive, aren't you? Rias said, feeling Issei hit her breasts. It wasn't until after she said that she realized Issei was asleep. Welcome to the Gremory household, Issei. Please serve my peerage well. Rias said, embracing his head into her chest. Well then, we best get out of the rain. But I don't know where you live. Rias said to the sleeping dragon-wielding devil. All of a sudden, a green circle appeared on Issei's hand and began to speak. Rias Gremory, do not be alarmed, I am Haidu Issei's partner. I am the red heavenly dragon Drake. Please take my partner home to get some rest. Drake said to Rias, telling his address to her. I understand, leave Issei to me. Rias said, activating a magic circle enveloping her and Issei in a crimson light, making them completely vanish. Huh? You say you don't want to marry me and want to find true love. Don't screw with me. Whether you like it or not, you are the heir to the Gremory clan, cursed to live by that title. Nobody could ever truly fall in love with you for yourself. You should be honored that you have the honor of being married to the heir of the Phoenix clan. The gold-haired devil said, causing Rias to wake up instantly. Rias panted heavily, calming herself down from that awful image that interrupted her sleep. Rias felt the sweat drop down from her forehead all the way down to her breasts, given the fact the only way she could sleep comfortably is when she is in the nude. Rias came to her sense and realized that she wasn't in fact in the Phoenix household, but she was definitely not home right now. Rias placed her hand on the bed she is currently sitting on and then felt something other than the mattress her body was just sleeping on. Rias let out a sigh of relief once she discovered what she was touching. Rias looked next to her and stared at the peaceful devil sleeping beside her. That's right, I took Issei home and decided to heal him, so I did skin-to-skin contact with him, and then before I knew it I fell asleep. Rias said, now staring at him. I didn't notice it before, but Kaneko was definitely right with her findings. Issei definitely has an outstanding physique. Rias said as she traced her fingers starting from his well-built chest all the way down to his well-toned abs. Rias suddenly remembered her nightmare and without thinking, wrapped her arms around Issei, pulling his arm into her boobs to offer herself security that this was reality right now. As soon as Rias began to embrace Issei, she suddenly felt a huge sensation of warmth and comfort. It's so warm. Oh no, at this rate I may get addicted to this and make you my personal body pillow, Issei. Still, it's surprising, I don't know what these feelings are, but I definitely know I have never felt this way before. I wonder if my big brother knew that you would make me feel this way, and that's why he gave you to me. Well, it doesn't matter to me, I'm just glad you're here right now to help me get rid of the nightmare. Rias said, slowly closing her eyes and embracing him as she fell into a deep sleep. Rias' sleep wasn't interrupted again that night. She slept peacefully and didn't experience any more discomfort. Slowly rising from her sleep, Rias stretched her arms up over her head and then looked to her side. Issei was no longer there. Rias started to panic, thinking he left her for good, but her panic subsided when she heard him coming up the stairs. Hey, good morning, President. Did you sleep well? Issei asked, looking directly at Rias, making her heart beat a little faster. Yeah, I'm sorry for how I'm dressed, I was just. You were healing me whilst I slept, right? But how did you know? Rias began to say, but she suddenly stopped when Issei smiled at her. I felt it whilst I slept. I felt your warmth, President Rias, even though I wasn't conscious I could feel you right beside me. Issei said to the crimson-haired girl, making a blush appear on her face. Anyway, you should get dressed, I've prepared breakfast. Issei said, causing Rias to nod and begin to dress herself. Hey Issei, could you hook my bra for me? Rias said in an excuse to make him come close. Sure, I can do that. Issei said, coming closer to her. So it's true what Kaneko told me, you do live alone after all. Rias said, making Issei surprised. Yeah, it's true. My parents were murdered by the fallen angel Rainer, and ever since, I've lived alone hunting them down until I found her again. Issei said quietly as he helped his master dress. There has been something on my mind since I found out you were my pawn, Issei. How do you know my brother? Rias questioned, resulting with Issei responding almost instantly. Your brother Lord Surziches saved my life. He revived me as a devil, and then almost right after that, I confronted another fallen angel who tried to kill me again. I was so absorbed by my reality that I didn't feel any damage to my body as he tried to kill me. No, I only felt the sudden urge to kill him, and to do that I needed power, and that's when I unlocked the power of the boosted gear. I was absorbed in rage, but I managed to control the power. I couldn't stop my punches until I somehow vaporized him with my sacred gear. After that, I decided that I would get stronger and master my power both as a devil and my sacred gear's power. I contacted your brother and he took me in and trained me for 3 years, along with another teacher he handpicked for me until I was 14. My other teacher taught me how to use my sacred gear and how to harness its full power. So to sum it up, Rias, your brother saved my life and then gave me to you. I promised to do my best for you, master, and become the strongest pawn. Issei said, being interrupted by Rias, who suddenly hugged him. President, you've been through so much, Issei. But don't worry, I will protect you and make sure you no longer suffer with sadness. I promise as your master to make your life full of happiness and new joyful memories. And I promise you, President, that I won't let your dreams stay as dreams, I will fulfill them and make you to achieve true happiness. Now let's get downstairs, breakfast is ready. Issei said, patting her on the head and leaving the room. Rias felt her head and started blushing again as her chest felt very warm again. After Rias and Issei finished a well-made breakfast, they decided to make their way to school together. All eyes stared at them as they walked through the school gates. Issei mostly had cursing stares and jealous rage that he was walking to school with the academy's most beautiful student. Whereas Rias had many girls staring at her admiring her, but some actually felt slightly jealous that she was with Issei. The fact is that most girls liked Issei both for his looks, his manners and his mystery, as he refused to open up or make friends with anyone. Issei, you bastard. How dare you be the one who can walk with Rias? It's not fair, just die. A male student with glasses said, aiming an apple at him. Issei reacted instantly, placing his hand around Rias Gremory's waist as he moved her out of the way of the incoming projectile and smashed it with his other hand. President, look out. Rias blushed, feeling Issei's manly grip placed gently on her hip and also at his, even though it was minuscule heroic act. President, are you hurt? No, I'm okay. Rias said back, barely feeling very hot on her forehead all of a sudden as she was instantly taken by surprise of his actions. I see, that's great. Issei said, letting go of her now. Hi. Issei is so manly. One girl said, overcome by Issei's sudden actions. It's no fair, Prince Issei, please protect me as well. That's right, hold me just like you did with big sister Rias. Rias suddenly felt annoyed at the girls who tried to swoon her servant, so she took his hand immediately. Let's go, Issei, we'll be late for class. Rias said, slightly panicking after grabbing his hand suddenly as they rushed into the school building away from all the noise. Once they arrived inside, Rias let go of Issei's hand, regained her composure. I have to get to class now, but don't worry, I will send someone to come collect you later after school so I can introduce you to everyone else. Rias said, now back to her composed and calm self. Okay, President, I understand. Then I will be off, President, I look forward to seeing you later. President. Issei suddenly stopped, seeing Ria's face was blushing again. President, are you okay? Your face is very red. It's nothing. Then I will see you later in the occult research clubroom. Don't go home. Rias said, running off in a rush. Whilst Issei wandered into the classroom, Rias was struggling to calm down her heartbeat after all of the incidents that happened this morning. After a whole day of harassment from the perverted duo, the final school bell sounded. Issei began to gather his belongings when an uproar happened in the classroom. Look who it is, it's third-year student Akeno. Wow, she's so sexy. The first of the perverted duo said, staring at her boobs. Boobs, hooray. The second of the duo said, staring at the beautiful girl with an elegant black long tail. You must be Haidu, Issei. Akeno said, approaching the sekiryutei's desk. Yes, that's me, Issei replied, suddenly feeling a familiar aura. Nice to meet you, I'm Akeno Himejima, the vice president of the occult research club. The president has instructed me to pick you up. Akeno said, setting the class in an uproar again. Damn you, Issei. Issei again, why do all the girls go for him? Another male student said, unable to control their jealousy. Issei followed Akeno out of the classroom and he was reading her aura as they walked along. Akeno felt a sudden chill down her spine as soon as she detected, even though it was slight, a thirst for blood behind her. Just as they reached the grounds of the occult research house, Issei broke the silence, alerting Akeno. Vice President, I know what you really are. Issei said, making Akeno nervous. Vice President, you're really half fallen angel, aren't you? Issei said, making Akeno look at him in fear. After a few seconds, Akeno finally spoke up. Yeah, that's right. And Rias told me all about it. Hi, do you hate fallen angels, don't you? Akeno said, shaking in fear. Yeah, that's right. It was fallen angels that took my parents from me. And they also ended my humanity. Issei said, making Akeno start to cry, knowing her identity was discovered and she was going to be hunted again. But, I don't hate you, Miss Akeno, I know all about you, Vice President. You're just like me in a way. Your mother was murdered by rogue fallen angels that were targeting your dad. And it was because of that you refused to use the fallen angel magical power that you have deep inside you. The reason I know about this is because I killed the fallen angels who the assassins had on standby that were planning to ambush you in Barakwil. Issei said, making Akeno silent and giving him her complete attention. It's true that some fallen angels make me very angry and makes me want to kill them, but don't worry, I don't hate you, Miss Akeno. I can see just by looking at you and the life you have led that you truly are a good person and someone who I would be happy to work with and lay my life down to protect you as my comrade. Issei said, casting the finishing blow to Akeno. Oh my, if you keep saying stuff like that to me, I don't know what I will do with myself. I can see why Rias so desperately wanted you. Akeno said, wiping away her tears and finally pulling herself together again to represent as Issei's senior classmate. Now let's go, everyone else is waiting. Akeno said, trying to speak over her rapidly beating heart. Issei and Akeno made it inside, opening the double tall wooden doors. Issei, it looks like you made it. Rias said, sitting at her desk, making her position as king very clear. Yes, sorry for the delay, there were difficulties in my classroom. Issei said, scratching his hair. That's okay, you're here now, so how about you introduce yourself? Rias said to Issei, making him smile. Of course. Nice to meet you everyone, my name is Issei Hayadu. I have been honored to be selected as Ria's Grimory's one and only pawn, as all 8 of her evil pieces are inside of me. I hope to get along with all of you. Issei said, bowing after making his introduction. The golden-haired sword wielder was the first to interact with the newbie servant. Nice to meet you Hayadu, I am Ria's Grimory's knight, Yudo Kiba. Yudo said, offering out his hand to shake. Nice to meet you to Kiba, but please call me Issei. Issei said, accepting Kiba's handshake. I understand Issei. Not bad, you have a strong grip. I guess I can feel confident whilst having you watch my back. I feel the same way, your sword skills in battle be very reassuring. Issei said, sticking his thumb up and smiling. The next to approach Issei was the small girl who was quietly snacking earlier. I am Kaneko Taoju, Ria's Grimory's rook. Nice to meet you Mr. Issei, Kaneko muttered. Yes, nice to meet you to Kaneko, I can feel it just by looking at you, you're really strong. And please just Issei is fine. Issei replied, a bit embarrassed. Ara, don't forget me. Once again, my name is Akeno Himejima, I am Ria's queen. Please be sure to protect me to Issei. Akeno said, getting especially close to Issei as she pressed her chest up against his back. Akeno, you're too close. Ria said, unable to hide her obvious jealousy. My apologies President, I was just being friendly. After all, I am his senior. Akeno said, making Ria slightly irritated, but this only makes Akeno giggle as she enjoys teasing Ria's. And I am the king, please everyone get along with our newest member and continue you to help me in my goal. Ria said, resulting with everyone altogether saying, yes President. Now that's been taken care of, let's celebrate the Grimory family gaining another servant, Akeno said, bringing out a well-decorated cake. After the party was over, Issei made his way with a smile on his face, whilst Ria's returned home trying to sleep, but to no avail. Just as Issei was on his way home, Issei's enhanced hearing picked up on a distress signal. Issei took off like a bullet, using his senses to track down the disturbance. You shitty nun. I told you. Now that your master has disappeared, you now belong to me. Now I'm going to make you entertain me. The white-haired creep said, tearing at the innocent girl's clothing. Please forgive me Father Fried, I didn't mean to anger you. The nun said, full-on frightened now as the father withdrew weaponry. Then if you really want me to forgive you, take off your clothes and let me enjoy myself. The man said, rubbing the gun he held against her panties. All the nun could do was cry, cowering in fear as the priest raised his light sword, bringing it down on her. All of a sudden, a huge sound of metal hitting metal resounded in the alleyway. Boy, what do you think you're doing to this woman? Issei said, blocking Fried's sword with his gauntlet. Oh, it's my lucky day. It's a shitty devil. Die. Die. Shitty devil boy. Fried said, firing his pistol. Issei dodged the bullets, grabbing the blonde nun in a princess carry, placing her down on the soft grass to safety. Don't be scared, I will protect you. Issei said, making the girl cry. Wow, you're pretty quick for a shitty devil, but let's see how you deal with my blade. Fried said, trying to slice Issei. Issei dodged, easily evaded against strike after strike, being able to read the corrupt priest's movements. Is that all you got? Issei said, punching the swordsman full force in the stomach, resulting with a mere human coughing out blood. Haha, this is not good, I will have to gain more power. Bye bye shitty devil boy. Fried said, vaulting onto the top of the building and escaping into the night. Little did Fried know, Issei could have easily followed the exorcist and finished him off. However, Issei felt there was a much more important matter to settle. Issei walked towards the panicked nun and knelt down in front of her. Are you okay, miss? Can you stand? Issei said, the nun nodding in response. The girl covered her top half up, her hood falling down to reveal her beautiful golden hair and emerald eyes as she looked at Issei. Issei noticed the girl's embarrassed expression and removed his shirt, draping it over her shoulders. Thank you very much. The nun said, finally building up the courage to speak. You're very welcome. What's your name? My name is Issei Hayadu. As Asia. Asia Argento. The nun said, finally being able to speak properly. Asia, right. Well, nice to meet you Asia. Issei said, smiling towards her. Say Asia, do you live around here? Issei asked because of her current predicament. No, I don't really have a place to call home other than the church. Asia said, obvious to Issei, looking depressed. Well, I can't leave you like this, I got it. Would you like to come to my house to get out of the cold? I promise that I won't hurt you. Issei said, trying to comfort her. I don't want to cause trouble or be a burden to you Hayadu-san. Asia replied, feeling guilty. Don't be silly, you're not a burden, I want to help you. In fact, please let me help you. Issei said, offering her his hand. Thank you Hayadu-san, you seem like a man God sent to help me himself. Oh Lord, thank you for granting me with a hero to break my imprisonment, amen. Asia said, giving Issei a headache. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you were a devil. But even if you are a devil, Hayadu-san is a good person. Asia replied with a smile. Please call me Issei Asia. Now let's go, you don't want to be dressed like that all day. Issei said, offering a piggyback for her because of her traumatic experience she just went through. Okay Issei-san. Asia said, climbing onto his back, closing her eyes as Issei walked towards his home with a distraught nun on his back. Meanwhile, in a house quite a distance away from Issei's home, an agitated princess tossed and turned under the restricting covers until she kicked them off, completely revealing her nude figure. I can't sleep at all. Why is it so different when you're by my side, Issei? Rias said, holding her hand against her aching heart which hungered for his warmth. Asia POV. My name is Asia Argento, and I am a holy sister of the church. When I was just a baby, my mother abandoned me, and I was raised by the kind people of the church I was left at. Ever since then, I learned the ways of the church and the teachings of God. One day a wounded puppy walked into the church and was close to death. I prayed day and night for that puppy to be saved by God, and it was then my power of prayer awakened. Seeing it as a blessing from God, I decided to use this gift on anyone I should encounter. However, my days at the church were over after that day. I came across a wounded man who I later found out was a devil. I was banished from the church and labeled as a witch for healing a devil, but to this day, I don't regret what I did, nor do I hate that devil I healed. After I was placed in exile, I was put in the possession of the fallen angels, and my life was governed and monitored by the fallen angel Rainer. She didn't treat me poorly, but one day my life changed. After I completed my morning prayer to God, I was notified by Father Fried that Rainer was killed by a devil, and I was to be put in his care. Father Fried didn't seem like a bad person at first as we carried on our regular duty for the Lord. But after the death of Rainer came to his attention, he transformed into a savage beast. We were just on our way back from our latest job, and the sun had finally set. When we approached an alleyway, Father Fried changed and started to treat me very roughly, muttering how ironic it would be for a priest to taint a holy sister. Before I saw it coming, I was pinned to the wall, and he started caressing his hands above my body, and I felt terrified as he did so. I cried out for help, and that's when he showed up. His gentle and caring smile as he said to me these words, "Don't worry, I will protect you." Those words alone possessed the power to set my heart at ease, and I knew from the look on his face, I could rely on him to keep me safe. That man's name is Issei, who saved me from being defiled and even granted me entrance to his house. That time is now, and I am currently in his home taking a shower after he suggested I take one. I know that Issei-san is a good person and I can trust him. I feel relieved that I had a spare outfit in my brown satchel to replace the torn one that Fried ruined, so I did not have to impose on Issei-san by borrowing any of his clothes. I exited the shower feeling clean once again and dried myself off, getting dressed shortly after. I returned to Issei's room smelling a warm fragrance as I stepped inside. Thank you for letting me use your shower, Issei-san," I said, feeling both happy and embarrassed, this being my first time in a boy's room before. "Not a problem, Asia, please have a seat, I've prepared some tea," Issei said, offering me a cup. Thank you very much," I said, bowing to him. Sitting down at the other end of the table afterwards. "It's delicious. I see, I'm glad you like it," Issei said with that warm smile of his. "So Asia, how are you feeling?" Issei asked me, obviously concerned about what just happened to me. "I'm fine now, all thanks to you. You really are a saint." "Haidu, Issei." "Amen," I sending a prayer. What's wrong?" "I'm so sorry. I forgot you're a devil, so that must hurt you, right?" I said, panicking when I realized I hurt him. "It's fine." "And what do you mean you forgot I was a devil? Surely that priest said it enough," Issei said, laughing a bit afterwards. "Well, the thing is, Issei-san is such a nice person that I couldn't see you as any kind of devil," I said with a slight blush on my cheeks, realizing I said something very embarrassing. "I see, thank you Asia, that makes me happy," Issei said, avoiding my embarrassment as he accepted what I just said happily. "Anyway Asia, I have something to ask you," Issei said, staring right at me after finishing his tea. "Yes, what is it?" I said back, feeling nervous. "Is it really true that you have no place left to go?" Issei said to me, making me surprised, but I answered him. "Yes, I was exiled from the church, so I no longer have a home." But don't worry, I can take shelter in the church," I said, secretly worried about it. "No, that's not good enough. I will offer you the spare room in my house. I can't just let a pretty and gentle girl like you stay out on the streets. Please accept my offer, I really want to help you," Issei said, making me cry. I placed my arms around his neck in happiness as I thanked him repeatedly. "Thank you so much, Issei-san. I don't care if you are a devil. You truly are a great person and a gift sent to me from God. I promise that I won't be a burden to you," I said, now releasing him and now sitting on my knees. "Nice to meet you, my name is Asia Argento. Please take care of me, Issei-san," I said, feeling very emotional to be saved not just once, but twice by this boy. Normal perspective, Issei patted the blonde girl on the head and then wiped away her tears. "Go get some rest, you must be exhausted," Issei said, settling the girl's mood. "Yes, I am, it's been quite a day," Asia said, stretching her arms as she stood up. "Tomorrow's a Saturday, so I will introduce you to my master and see if we can help you out," Issei said to the girl as she approached the door. Yes, thank you very much, I am very grateful, Issei-san. Asia said, approaching the room Issei let her use. At night, the holy sister finally managed to get a good night's sleep. Meanwhile, a certain red-haired beauty struggled to get even a wink of sleep. Rias collapsed onto her bed, having suffered another nightmare of Riser, this time of him killing Issei. What should I do? Rias said as she began to get upset, knowing full well that she wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. The next day arrived in a flash at the Haidu household as the Red Dragon Emperor began his morning routine. After completing his early workout, Issei began preparations for breakfast. Asia was still asleep, but she was soon woken up by a beautiful aroma that invaded her nostrils, waking her up gently. Asia went down the stairs, following the interesting scent leading her towards the living room. Asia's sleepy eyes shot wide open when she saw the feast that was laid out on the table. Ah, good morning, Asia, did you sleep well? Issei said, smiling towards her whilst he took off his apron. Yes, I did, thank you, Asia replied, unable to turn away from the delicious food on the table. Ah, that. I'm sorry, I guess I made a bit too much. My appetite is that of a dragon's after all, so I forget to hold back when preparing somebody else's meals. Issei said, smiling whilst he scratched the back of his head. No. It all looks so delicious, and plus I'm very hungry. Thank you for the food. Asia said, showing no hesitation to dig in. This is so good. Issei-san, you're a great chef. Asia said, making Issei smile. Well, you know, when you've lived alone for 6 years, you learn how to do things like this. Issei said, causing Asia to ask. Issei-san, why do you live alone? Asia said, causing Issei to pull a sad expression. Even though it's been asked many times, Issei still feels the pain whenever he remembers their lifeless bodies on the ground. When I was only 11 years old, my parents were murdered by a fallen angel, and then I too was killed. I was revived as a devil and then once again came close to death. But when I wished for power to protect myself and to avenge my parents, it's as if the sacred gear heard me and gave me power. I got my revenge, but I vowed that I would never let anybody else's lives be made miserable by the fallen angels and that I would protect the innocent. Issei said, quickly consuming his drink. Afterwards, seeing Asia about to cry, he spoke up. But don't worry, I'm fine. Hurry, eat your breakfast and then take a shower. I have washed and dried some clothes for you, so please go get ready, we have a big day ahead of us. Issei said, quickly disrupting the depressing atmosphere. Yes, I will, Asia said, resuming her delicious meal. After Asia and Issei were ready to go, the two left the Haidu residence and made their way for Kuo Academy. Issei and Asia approached the Orc clubhouse and opened the wide wooden doors, entering into the sitting room. Excuse me, President Rias. Issei said, making his way to his master's desk after noticing the situation. Rias Gremory was in fact in the clubhouse, but she wasn't aware of Issei or Asia's presence. Issei smiled and removed his jacket, placed it over his master's shoulders as she slept on her desk. Thanks for the hard work, master. Issei said, placing a note he wrote to her in the jacket pocket. Let's go, Asia, the president is tired, so I will show you around the town. Issei said, ushering her out of the room. Yes, of course, Issei-san. Asia said, following him out of the room. Meanwhile, while Issei and Asia were making their way out of the building, the president was imprisoned in her dreams. Rias Gremory felt so cold during her sleep as soon as that frightening man appeared again. Ah, look, it's my wife-to-be, Rias. I hope you know that I plan on having sex with you before we are married. The golden-haired devil said, making Rias startled and start to retreat back. Just as Rias stepped back though, a circle of flames surrounded them, trapping her inside. There is nowhere to run, my Rias, you are mine, and someday I will take you for myself. No, stay back. Shout as loud as you want, Rias. Nobody is going to save you. Riser said, tearing at Rias' school shirt, revealing her naked torso. All of a sudden, Rias suddenly felt a warm sensation not from the fire but inside her chest. As if he were summoned by her cries for help, Rias was completely silenced when she saw the brown-haired boy with his sacred gear equipped standing right in front of her. Issei? You bastard. I won't let you hurt Rias anymore. Issei said whilst his sacred gear's gem began to shine on cue. Rias ran towards Issei's back and tried to throw her arms behind him. But before she could do this, he vanished and Rias had come back to reality. Rias took a few seconds to register what just happened, and this left her both relieved and sad. Relieved that Issei showed up in her dream to protect her. And sad because she didn't even get the chance to embrace Issei in her dreams, let alone in reality. It was then she realized the warm coat which was placed on her back whilst she slept at her desk. Rias blushed when she recognized the scent as she held it towards her face. It's Issei's scent. Rias said, sighing as she hugged it close towards her chest. Revealing the letter that fell out of the pocket. The president opened up the folded paper and read what it said. President Rias, yesterday I saved a holy sister from an abusive priest and she now has no place to go home to. I took her in because she's only just arrived in Japan and still has loads to learn, but I mainly feel responsible because I killed Rainer, the fallen angel she was being fed and kept alive by. Need to speak to you about what we should do next, as I believe that you are the right person to come to about this. Thanks for the hard work. Hi to Issei. Rias folded the letter and began doing the task she set out to do when she first came into the clubroom. Elsewhere, Issei and Asia were walking around the town, to which Issei was showing her around. Issei decided to take Asia clothes shopping first because of her lack of the essentials, paying for them himself from his savings as a devil he earned, whilst he worked as a stray devil for Sursages. After they finished clothes shopping, Issei bought Asia and himself a crepe. Here you go, Asia. Issei said, handing her the delicious pastry. After Asia took a bite from the snack, she began to cry, alerting Issei. What's wrong, Asia, do you not like it? Issei said, panicking over Asia suddenly crying. No, it's not that at all. It's just ever since I was little, I have always dreamed about making friends with others. We would go play, read books and pick flowers. And you've treated me so kindly, a complete stranger. I don't know how to thank you. Asia said, unable to contain her happiness. What are you talking about, Asia? I already consider us as friends, and friends look out for each other, so you have no need to thank me. I'm just doing what I can to help a friend who is in trouble. Issei said, patting her on the head. Asia couldn't contain herself any longer as she wrapped her arms around him. Thank you so much, Issei-san. I'm so happy that the first person I met yesterday was such a nice and gentle man like you. Asia said, accidentally pushing her crepe into his nose. Oh, I'm so sorry. Asia said, bowing down to him. Issei burst out laughing as he removed the cream from his nose. Hey, if you wanted to share your food with me, you should have just said so. Issei said, smiling as he ate the cream that was left on his face. Asia stopped panicking and began to laugh as well. After a long day of visiting the tourist attractions and landmarks, Issei and Asia were beginning to make their way back to the Haidu residence. Asia, stay behind me. Issei said as a loud sound of flapping wings sounded through the sky. Who are you and what do you want, fallen angel? Issei said, getting ready to fight. I have no business with you, devil, now hand over the nun. Nice, and slowly she belongs to the fallen angels. The male corrupt angel said. Asia belongs to nobody. And if you want her, you'll have to get through me first. Issei said back. She is a mere human who possesses a sacred gear. It is her destiny to either die or serve us higher beings. Then I will protect her from scum like you. I am the sekiryutei Haidu, Issei. The teen said as he revealed his boosted gear. No way, the sekiryutei, the devil that killed Donasi can drain her. That line made Asia shocked and Issei on high alert. That's right, I will kill anyone who threatens to hurt those I love. So if you treasure your life, get out of here now. Issei said, making the fallen angel cower backwards and fly away. Issei-san, is it true that you killed Rainer? Asia said, very startled. Yes, it's true, I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I just didn't want to frighten you. Issei said, completely surprised by Asia's actions when she grabbed him. I knew it. I knew that God sent you to help me. I was suffering when I was with the fallen angels, but you set me free, Issei-san. I couldn't ask for a better person to call my friend. Asia said, holding him close. I'm glad that I helped you, Asia. I know exactly what it's like to have your life ruined by fallen angels. Issei said as they walked home. Issei and Asia made it back to the Haidu household and they made their way to bed straight after they brushed their teeth. Good night, Issei-san, thank you for these pajamas, they are very comfortable. Asia said, smiling. That's okay, Asia. If you need anything, just ask me, okay? Issei said as they both went into their rooms. Issei removed his t-shirt and climbed into bed, one thought in his mind as he closed his eyes. I wonder if Rias is okay. Later on in the night, a bright crimson light shone from the center of Issei's bedroom. As if she was answering Issei's question, Rias Gremory stood there in Issei's room and began to remove her clothes. I'm sorry, Issei, please forgive me. But I feel more comfortable sleeping by your side. I can't sleep without you anymore. The Crimson Princess said as she climbed under the covers with Issei resting her naked body on his chest. It's just as I thought, this is where I feel the most comfortable. I just wish I could stay by your side forever, Issei. Rias said as she closed her eyes and stole him for the use of a body pillow. End of the part 1. So how was this story? I hope you like it. And if you like it, share this story with your friends and like the video too. And don't forget to subscribe our channel for daily awesome fanfiction. Okay, it's time for me to go. Bye bye.